Today, we are back with an update to the quarterback tier list. It's been around a month since the last one. I try to update these once a month. There's not that many new quarterbacks, but of course, with a somewhat meta change with Gunslinger, and now we have the throw power strat cards, things are a little bit different at the quarterback position. So, of course, we're going to be putting them all on this tier list today. I do want to mention that the tier list going forward, we are going to get rid of the lower tiers and just use S plus and S tier, as I feel like in Madden 26, people aren't really using lower overall budget cards anymore. Or really no one is. Really, budget cards are kind of gone because of all the 32 team chem cards and things like that, which allows you to spend more on a quarterback, especially quarterback, and use the better one. So I'm able to be more, exact with the top end QBs in the game. So we are going to do the S plus and S tiers going forward on the tier list, though. Of course, if you guys are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. We're on that road to 50,000 subscribers. Thank you guys for all the support on the channel recently. And that's enough rambling. Let's get into it. If you're looking to add a top tier QB to your team, head over to MMOEXP for the cheapest, most reliable MUT coins on the market. Use my code FERDY at checkout for 6% off. A link for their website is, of course, in the description. So what am I looking for in a quarterback? What am I looking for? What's good on a quarterback? Obviously, Pocket Deadeye's still good. I think Pocket Deadeye's still good. I think the combination of Pocket Deadeye with Gunslinger is probably my favorite in the game right now. That's for me personally, but I know there are people that prefer Conductor. And, you actually can run Conductor Gunslinger on Cam Newton if you'd like to. But there's a lot of Master Attack users out there, so it's kind of tough to make a tier list that caters to everybody. So do keep that in mind with today's tier list. But those are the kind of things that I look for on a quarterback. And of course, height doesn't really matter anymore. I mean, obviously it matters for getting it over the line of scrimmage, but the quick spin's dead, so it doesn't matter anymore. But that's kind of what I look for when it comes to a QB. And we're going to come back to Cam Newton in a little bit. But the two cards I want to talk about, the first one is Jared Goff, okay? Because Jared Goff is someone that they gave him Gunslinger. For Unreal Moments, they were giving out Gunslinger for free. They were giving it to everybody. So you can give Jared Goff the Gunslinger Pocket Deadeye combo for 10 AP, which is, again, what I run. Or you can even give him the Gunslinger Conductor AP. So for both crowds, ability-wise, he fits, right? Which is very good. He only has 85 throw power. But with the new strat cards, there is a way to get him to 90 throw power. You can really get every QB to 90 throw power. And then once you're over 90, the boost for each stat upgrade are a little bit lower compared to that 89 to 90 jump, which you genuinely feel a difference between. So Jared Goff, he's a cone. He's definitely a cone. But if you're looking for a QB, and I guess it doesn't really make sense because you have a guy like Case Keenum, who's better than Goff, whose price is not egregious. It's not really for a really good QB in my opinion. But Jared Goff, he's a high B tier option because he has holes but has the good abilities as well. The next card I want to talk about is Jackson Dart, as if you're someone who needs to, if you rely on Master Tactician, he does get it, right? And you can, Master Tactician doesn't get the Gunslinger though, which is kind of a big deal, maybe to you. But then you can't even run Pocket Conductor. Maybe you go, Jackson Dart is really kind of a, you're not going out of your way to run Jackson Dart unless you like Jackson Dart, really, in my opinion. So yeah, I would probably move these guys down real quick, run it something like this. But you're really not going out of your way to run Dart. You're not. So that's what I got for our B and C tiers. Let's move up to A tier, S and S plus. Let's do it. The next thing is kind of speed, right? I mean, speed in this game, I feel like at QB right now, my Rodgers how fast is Rodgers right now for me? I think he's 83 speed, right? 82 speed. And I feel fine with 82 speed. I'm able to move out of the pocket. I'm able to step up. I'm able to move around just fine in the pocket with 82 speed. And if I need to go get 5 yards on the ground with Rodgers when the pocket collapses, I have a lane, I'm able to take that and be comfortable with that. So I feel like 82, 83 speed is still good enough to be somewhat of a threat. They still kind of got to think about you running. It's not like 70 speed or, something like that, which would be pretty egregious. But Sam Darnold, I think, he's a little too slow for me, but I do like that 90 throw power stock with the strat card. Obviously, things can get crazy, but Sam Darnold, I still think you're going to use him as a pocket passer if you pick him up. Does get Pocket Deadeye, but does lack the Master Tactician or the Gunslinger, which is what I think people go after. So Sam Darnold, I think with his stats, it's still low A tier stats. His stats are good. There are ways to run him. There are ways. Doesn't get the best ability stacks, so I'm putting him on low A tier. But none of the guys really in A tier get the crazy stacks. They really don't. And some of the guys are going to fill in here that do get the good stacks, but of course have other drawbacks as well. And we'll talk about that in a second. So next card I want to take a look at is going to be Jordan Love. Jordan Love, kind of the same thing as Darnold. I do like Jordan Love's card a little bit more. They're very close, very similar. I don't gotta really get too much into it, but they're very close, similar cards. They're if you're using, I do like Love's release a little bit more, but yeah, Jordan Love already had Jordan Love up here. Oh yeah, Jordan Love, Jordan Love I do like a little bit more than Sam Darnold, and he kind of sandwiched between Josh Allen. I might put Josh Allen ahead. I think Josh Allen's uniqueness of his card makes him feel really good, so I would probably do that with them. And you can even maybe debate. I would probably put Dart in front of Golf. I think these two are very interchangeable depending on, again, what the ability stack you look for is. I think they're pretty interchangeable in my opinion. All right, the next card up is going to be Kurt Warner. Kurt Warner, I don't think you're going to see much you don't see much Kurt Warner out there. Again, people look for that little bit of speed. 74 speed is just really not ideal, but all 90 accuracy stats is obviously very good. Does get release 1, which seems to be pretty popular right now. I think Flacco gets that too. We'll talk about him next. But Kurt Warner, 74 speed is not great, right? You're not turning this guy to a crazy runner, but he does get master attack, which you can run. And then the conductor, you can't run conductor pocket deadeye. So, I don't know if pocket deadeye, I hit the mic. I don't know if pocket deadeye is really as necessary anymore because you're starting to get QBs that are more accurate. Where early on, we had QBs that really couldn't throw that well because they had low accuracy stats, but the pocket deadeye covered that all up and the card felt good. So it's not as crutch as it was earlier on in the year, but he does get master attack and does have good stats. So I think in the right person's hands, Kurt can be good. But it just sucks. I don't like doing this because I would rather have Mahomes, Allen, Love, and Darnold over Kurt Warner. But I know in a better player's hands, Kurt can be very good. For me personally, there's no way I do that. There's no way. But if you're a pure passer, Kurt can be very good. So I got to consider that, and I'll move Kurt up a little bit. I will do that. The next one is going to be Joe Flacco, who I think is just a better version of Kurt Warner. I think he just is. I mean, this card is unfairly priced. I think he's worth probably $500K. But of course, Team of the Week LTD, people don't really interact in that promo, especially during Most Feared, so his price stays up. Probably won't see him get to a reasonable price until his Redux, which is going to be 2 more Redux drops pretty much, which is going to be a long time. And by that time, this card, you'll never really see this card. Only reason you go after this guy is if you love Joe Flacco, but he's an option, 6'6", 92 throw power, so you can get him up pretty high. You can really get his throw power getting pretty crazy. I would probably put Joe Flacco, again, in this range here, it comes down to preference. Honestly, all in A tier, it's just preference. It really is, in my opinion. I love Drake May's card. Caleb Williams is obviously good. It has those original animations. But Joe and Kurt, and it really comes down, I don't have a solidified ranking all throughout A tier, really, because of how this game plays pretty much. That's really all I could say about it. And then next up, we got Cam Ward, who might be the most popular QB in the game. He might be. People are still running him. It makes sense. 90 overall Cam Ward, 81 speed. So I look at this card like he's got 82 or 83 speed because 50-50s and, of course, 20 teams as well. You should have him on one of those if you're using him. And, of course, you can get him up to +3 up to 84 speed. You have that with good accuracy stats and does get all the same abilities that Flacco and Kurt Warner get as well. So you kind of have it all there. Unfortunately, no gunslinger for him, which is kind of a slight drawback of the card, but it's nothing crazy. I think Cam Ward belongs in top of A tier. He's a good card, can get the job done, has good enough ability stats to put him in the high A tier. But now, let's get into our S and S plus guys, all right? So the first one I want to talk about is Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is my quarterback right now. I've been using him, and the gunslinger is really good. You definitely notice it, in my opinion. And then you also compare that with the fact that you can boost his throw power even crazier now. Mine has 94 throw power. I did pick the +4 strat card. Then you have the theme team as well, so that's how you do that. But yeah, 79 speed. Again, it's good enough. It's good enough where you feel like you're able to roll out. I wouldn't say non-theme team are you really going to be a big threat, but with Rodgers, you want to be able to move the pocket, use his throw on the run animation, and also does have a good release as well. So Rodgers, I like a lot. I don't think his price was fair when he first came out, but because of Case Keenum, but now I think it's a fair price. $400K for him, I think you're going to get an S tier QB, and even has that versatility and abilities where if you're someone that wants to run gunslinger, you can. If you want to run master attack, you can. If you want to go gunslinger conductor, you can. You have all these options now with Aaron Rodgers, which I do like. So Rodgers I'm a fan of. The next QB, again, I should have done this guy first, but Oh, that's not his name. His name's Case Keenum. All right, Case Keenum's up next. This is the reason why I think Rodgers was overpriced, because of Case Keenum. They're pretty much the same card, and you could argue Case is better, but to me, what it comes down to is release at the end of the day, really. And Rodgers does have some slightly better. If we go to compare here, I'll show you. But Rodgers and Case are close. They are. I understand that, but I would rather have Rodgers. I use both. Rodgers plays better. Release wise, again, neither are really a super big threat with their legs at the end of the day. So you're not going to nitpick that 3 speed, really. So I would go Case Keenum behind Rodgers, but he's still S tier. That gunslinger, and you have the versatility still. It feels weird to put Case Keenum that high, but that's where he belongs, right? I think he's that good. All right, next up, let's get into the faster options. The first one's going to be Lamar Jackson. So Lamar is, if you're the guy, like I've been mentioning this whole video, that is cool with running Master Tactician, right? You're going to run Master Tactician, and you're going to be fine with Lamar Jackson. Lamar would be in that top tier for you. But I was, I feel like Gunslinger's just too good not to really mention it. So you have, I think you have the 2 pluses. Obviously, the crazy speed on Lamar. The one thing about Lamar that's weird is his 81 juke move, but if you know how to do the speed boost, he has 91 COD, no theme team, you're fine. But they cut his juke move down from his 85. I don't know why they did this. They cut it down 5 ratings, and he had a 5 overall upgrade. I don't understand why this happened. I don't know. And of course, it's easy to get him the 90 throw power now. Before it was a little more difficult, but now you can do that with the +4 throw power strat card, which I think is the best one. I think it's the one you guys should choose first, and then go, and you'll eventually get zone and man strat cards too, as far as the blue ones go. The purple ones are egregiously priced, so keep that in mind. But I think Lamar is, I would put Lamar into S tier, top of S tier. Again, depending on your preference, you might prefer Rodgers over, you might prefer using Rodgers over a guy like Lamar. QB tier lists are they're never really black and white to me, so I'd put Lamar there. I think he's good. People are going to use him. He obviously has the crazy threat with his legs, but and if you have Master Tactician, he might be your S+. He could be S+ for you, but I just feel like without that gunslinger, I'd put him into S tier. If he had it, he would be S+ as well. Joining these guys. All right, the first one up is gonna be Jaden Daniels. Big Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels, again, they were giving out gunslinger all of Unreal Moments, and they gave it to Jaden Daniels. So Jaden Daniels, he's going to have the tack, the gunslinger combos, the same as pretty much Rodgers and Case Keenum. And this card is still 800K for good reason. He's fast. He's fast. If you even 86 speed's quick. At the end of the day, you have good accuracy stats. And that's another thing with Lamar, right? Lamar is, if we go back to Lamar, they actually did him pretty good with his accuracy stats. But 85 deep accuracy, obviously not amazing. But I just can't believe how they did his juke move on Lamar, man. It's weird. It's a weird thing that they did to Lamar. But Jaden Daniels, I think, is S+ because you have the speed as well as the gunslinger tactician combos. So, like, again, it's kind of a trade-off. If you really need to rely on that speed, you might still go Lamar. But if you want more of like I don't even want to say balance because he's still fast against the QB metas right now, it would be Jaden Daniels. And to me, the best of every world is really just the Cam Newton. Whether you're going for this Cam Newton or you're going for the other Cam Newton who's not rainbow colored. If you're going for either Cam Newton, they kind of have different trade-offs. One's faster than the other. One's got one better deep throw accuracy. One's got better throw on the run. I would go with the faster one as, yeah, it just, and you could do the set and get him for I think people were getting him for discounts. I don't know if you can do that now, but there's a way to get Cam Newton. I think Cam Newton's going to be very good for a long while, especially because they're now gatekeeping Gunslinger again, where Cam Newton is someone that he gets the tack and the Gunslinger combo. Well, you can't run them at the same time, but you know what I'm saying. Tack, Gunslinger. And all I'm saying is one little AP raise and we get 16 AP or 17 AP, you can eventually run Gunslinger tack at the same time, which is going to be kind of crazy. But this is the best of every world, this card. He's tall. He was able to do the quick spin. He can't anymore, but he has the speed. He has the throw power. The accuracy stats are there. The juke moves there. Everything but the COD is there for him, so you can't really speed boost with him. But big body. Yeah, I put both Cam Newton cards up into S+, obviously. So that is the quarterback tier list. I think if you go online and you play this game, you see one of the top 7. Or I guess it's 6, right? Because I would count Cam as 1. So you see one of either Cam, Jaden Daniels, Lamar. Probably Lamar's the most popular right now, but you see Rodgers, you see Case. and Cam Ward, really. Outside of that, you don't see these guys too frequently unless they're on theme teams. But yeah, if you're probably seeing one of the top 6 if you go online right now, most likely. So that's the quarterback tier list. Did I miss anybody? I don't think I did. Rather doesn't make it. So yeah, let me know what you guys think down below. The quarterback landscape's in a weird spot. I wonder where it's going to go. I think the raise of the AP cap's going to change things, and we're not going to get any new abilities, most likely. So really just the AP cap is what's going to change, and EA giving us those extra buckets is what's going to make some, or even discounts are going to be coming up. So that'll differentiate. I can never say that word. That'll make, let me say it in a longer term. That'll make QBs different from one another because you have some with discounts, some without them. That's what's going to make a pretty big jump to QBs. So again, drop a comment down below, hit the subscribe button if you're new here. Watch these videos if you haven't yet already, and I will see you boys in the next one. Differentiate. I got it. Okay.